Hey everybody, welcome to EduMatch. Thank you so much for joining us. So you can always watch us at podcast with an s.edumatch.org/tweet talk. And tonight I am super excited because we have Natasha Rachell joining us tonight. Welcome, Natasha.
Hey everybody.
Hey, so great to have you here. So I got to meet her live and in person about what was it, like maybe 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago, 4 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Three or
Yeah.
4 weeks ago at OV Academy. So that was super awesome. Natasha is just amazing, and I'm super excited that she is joining us tonight. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I shared this with you in Minnesota at OVA Academy. My first time actually seeing you was in Tony Vincent's classy graphics class, and he was showing us drawing you. And I recognized you because of your leather jacket and your vegan leather jacket and your hoop earrings.
Yep. Leather hoops and tofu. Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
it was so awesome to finally meet you in person. And now I have
Oh,
my new friend. So thank
yes. Likewise. Super excited to have you on here. So, for those of you who don't know Natasha, then get ready because she is amazing. Let me tell you a little bit about her. So, Natasha is a former high school science teacher turned science transition to teaching coach, professional learning coach, ed tech specialist, and most recently a digital learning specialist. Woo! Natasha believes in empowering other passionate educators to transform their teaching practices through the integration of technology. Doing so, doing so should not be something else an educator has to do, but rather an enhancement to the amazing teaching and learning that is already taking place in their classroom. She believes that classrooms should be engaging environments that allow for students to take risks while being prepared to collaborate, communicate, think critically, and be creative. Natasha takes pride in seeing the light bulb go off during her technology trainings as educators discover and explore the special sauce that will transform their teaching practices. That is super awesome. So,
you.
yeah. So we were talking a little earlier, and we were talking about our background. Like both of us came from different fields. So tell us a little bit about what is your background and who or what inspired you to go into education? Because I see that originally you were pre-med for a bachelor's degree. So what caused the shift to education?
Yes. So, okay, when I give you a little bit of my background, you guys are going to be like all my best friends by the time this is over with. When I graduated from high school, I swear I was going to be a psychologist. Like, that's all I wanted to do, blah, blah, blah. And I remember I came from California to Atlanta to Morris Brown College. Shout out to the HBCUs.
Whoop,
And I know. And I remember someone telling me that psychology, to become a psychologist, you had to go like 4 years of college and then X number of schools of years of this school and this school. And by the time they finished, I was tired. I was like, forget that. I'm just going to be a doctor. Like, I'll be a doctor. Cool with that. So declared my biology pre-med major and was dead set. I'm going to be a doctor. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a pediatrician. Life is great. And my junior year of college, I actually got pregnant. And so, just reevaluating life a little bit and had to have like a reality check with myself. Not saying that I still couldn't have pursued becoming a doctor, but just wanted to kind of change things up a little bit. So I said, you know what? I'll be a nurse. So then I was going to be a nurse. And then by the time I had my son, and it got time to like get ready to like cross off all the little courses in my course catalog, I said, you know what? Let me just graduate. Let me just graduate. So still in my head, I wanted to become a registered nurse eventually. And so, yeah, I went on ahead. I graduated, had my son, got married, all that stuff, graduated. I mean, college, last couple of years of college was like boom, 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 life changes everywhere. And so when I was in college, I was actually working part-time at Bath and Body Works. I opened almost every Bath and Body Works in the metro Atlanta area. And I remember graduating from college and my regional manager said, hey, do you want to be a manager? And I was like, shoot, yeah, I do. I don't have to like go look for a job. I just graduated. And I'll never forget, it paid $27,500 a year. And I thought I was balling. I was like, yes, I got a job. I'm good. Life is good. And so I worked in retail management for probably about 6 years after college. And then after I had my second son, like reality sunk in. Like, I'm not at home on the weekends. I'm not at home at night. Like, my husband is at home with my newborn baby. He's freaking out because the baby's crying. He doesn't know what to do. And so I actually quit my job and I became a substitute teacher. And in hindsight, becoming a teacher was something I think I always wanted to do. Going back to when I was little and playing, library in the garage and, playing school with my brothers and all that kind of thing. It was always something, when you reflect back, it's always something that was inside of me. So became a substitute teacher, did that for about 2 weeks. And then a full-time science position opened at the school that I was long-term subbing at. And I applied for it, and my principal sat me down and she said, you know what, I see something in you and I'm going to take a chance on you. You are going to be, what did she say? You're going to make me proud and be my shining star baby. That's what she said. And I just actually talked to her the other day and just thanked her. I actually sent her the video from OVA Academy, and I just, thanked her for taking a chance on me, because had it not been for her, I think my whole path would have totally been different. So I've now been in education coming up on 15 years, and it has been the best decision ever. So that's how I ended up here.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
All right. So yeah. So tell us a little bit about your own journey in connecting with other educators, and what have you learned along the way as you've connected?
So when after I left the classroom and I became a math and science transition to teaching coach in my previous district, we went to, another coworker and I went to a training in Florida. And I don't even remember the name of the conference, but Rick Wormley was there, who believes in different thoughts about grading and assessment and that kind of thing. And then there was a gentleman there named Will Richardson, who did this whole and Google. He's the person that actually got me to make my first Google account, my first Gmail account, and to start a Twitter. And I remember him saying, he will only follow up to 100 people because, and this may have changed by now, I need to go look at his Twitter, but he believed that, 100 people will give him what he needs. And then he only follows one person, and that was his son. And I was like, that's interesting, because I follow tons of people. And so it was because that I started my Twitter. And so I really believe Twitter is one of those places where I will wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is look at Twitter. And before I go to sleep at night, I'm on Twitter. And even throughout the day, on breaks and whatnot, and our district is real Twitter heavy, but that's the place where you get your professional learning from. I have made so many connections on Twitter. And I really believe Twitter is what was kind of responsible for being able to eventually become a part of OVA Academy and to be able to participate in leading a session during the EdTech Team virtual summit that they had back in October, I believe. Meeting people that I've had, I call them educational crushes on for years, just because I'm so just engulfed in the goodness that they have to say, and then finally getting to meet them in person and feeling like I've known them for years. That's just the place to learn, If you're not going face-to-face to a session, get it on Twitter. It's the next best thing.
Yeah, I feel you on that. There's no other feeling than just meeting somebody face-to-face that you've been chatting with for years. Yeah. So that is cool. So you're definitely a lifelong learner. So what has fueled your passion in this area?
As teachers, and it's so cliche, excuse me, we always say that we're lifelong learners, and we are. A lot of us have advanced degree. Most of us probably have advanced degrees, because that's the way that you kind of advance in the field of education. Degrees, just consistently seeking out those opportunities to learn. Last year, I signed up for one of Tony Vincent's classy graphics class, just to kind of increase my ability to make, graphics and that kind of thing. And he's actually getting ready to offer a classy videos class. So I'm going to sign up for that, just so I can work on my video enhancing skills, because I know that's an area that I need to improve. But I think reading a lot, consistently reading and, connecting with other educators, it just really, you don't know what you don't know. So when you immerse yourself around other people that are doing phenomenal things, it starts to rub off on you, and you want to kind of learn and grow in that space as well.
Yeah, I like that. You don't know what you don't know. That is, we were actually having that conversation in an EduMatch Voxer group about unconscious competence or something like that. Somebody threw out a phrase like that, and I thought that was really, really cool.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So speaking of theories and philosophies, then on your website, on your About Me page, and you have some philosophies that guide you in the work that you do. So would you mind sharing some of those with us?
Sure. The first one that I kind of float around, and it's really the one that drove my 2017, was Living with Intent. At the end of in September of 2016, I have a twin brother, and he was involved in a really, really bad car accident. And I think I may have shared this with you before, Sarah, but he had to learn how to breathe, how to talk, how to eat, everything all over again. And he's still learning, you know, how to walk. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. But seeing him go through that whole process, like from literally being in a coma for 10 days and not being able to do anything to, you know, where he is now. And yes, he still has a long way to go. It just really kind of reiterated to me, life is short and you can't take it for granted. So intent became my word for 2017. And I really just kind of lived in that and took almost, you know, my husband's always saying, you do so much, but just taking opportunities that you can and really believing that the opportunities that you have been afforded, they've been afforded to you for a reason. So go into them head first, dive in, give it 100%. And so, yeah, intent has definitely been a huge one for me. The other one is, oh goodness, Being the Change That You Wish to See by Mahatma Gandhi. That's another one that I totally live by. You know, there's a line in Waiting for Superman, that teacher documentary or school documentary, and they said, you know, stop waiting for Superman. You can be Superman or Superwoman. Like, stop waiting to do it. Like, you know, with EduMatch, you know, your whole story, the way that it got started, like, why not Sarah? Why Sarah the teacher? You know, why shouldn't she have done it? You know, if you would have sat around waiting for someone else to do it, it never would have happened. So, being that change that you wish to see. And I know there's a few other little nuggets on there, but those are the two that really kind of drive what I do.
Right, absolutely. I appreciate those kind words. And yeah, absolutely. Like you can see that you embody that, like being the change that you wish to see in the world. You're always so positive and just so full of energy. And yeah, so definitely appreciate that about you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. So, all right, on your site, you were blogging about courageous adventures. So, what exactly is a courageous adventure, and what have been some of your favorite ones that you've taken in this past year?
So, Courageous Adventures, I actually stumbled across the book by Jenny McGarrett, and I actually happen to have it sitting right here. Everybody and their mom knows Jenny. She's amazing. But she wrote this book, and I'm sorry, my emails are going off. She wrote this book, and she talks about, it says, Courageous Adventures, Navigating Obstacles to Discovering Classroom Innovation. And if anyone is looking for just a practical book to implement ways to make your classroom innovative, this is the book that you want. She like lays it out so simply, but at the end of the book, she gives a 7-day challenge. And so the first challenge is to go on a blog bender, commit to a conference, go on a virtual learning marathon, curate digital content, take on a Twitter chat, 3 little goals, and then first day war plan. And so I actually took the challenge and I went through for the 7 days. I blogged about it each day. And first of all, it was cool because it held me accountable. And then second of all, it was just exciting because it walked you through, and a lot of the stuff I was already doing, like taking part in Twitter chats and that kind of thing, blogging and that kind of thing. But what was really cool was that it really started to make me think about what I wanted to do next. I think educators a lot of the time, and even especially people that are kind of fluent in ed tech, you find your little pocket of resources that you love and you just live in those, but there's so much out there. So it really caused me to kind of dig and see what else is out there and try a few new things. So some of the courageous adventures that I went on in 2017, stepping out and signing up for Tony Vincent's classy graphics class, just because, you know, you think you never have time to do these kind of things, but, you know, why not make time? You make time for what you want to do. And that was something, and my coworkers tell me all the time, like, oh, if we need a flyer, we're going to Natasha because she took that class, she can do it now. So that was cool just to be able to take time out to learn how to do that. I started blogging in 2017, and that's just been awesome. And it's been kind of cool to see which blogs have really kind of taken off and which ones people are interested in. And doing that has not only made me be really super accountable for blogging because I know that people are reading it, but I also am challenging myself to seek out those new and exciting things in the world of ed tech that are out there. and OVA Academy, for those of you that don't know, our Voice Academy was probably the biggest edUventure that I went on last year, because I mean, first of all, to get an email that you know have been invited to participate in this event with 19 other educators from across the nation, like, holy moly, who am I, this one little person in, Georgia, to be invited to do this? And then, Sarah, you were there to teach us, and Ken Shelton, and Jenny Magera, and Monica Martinez. Like, it was just amazing. So that was just awesome to be able to learn from so many different people and just feel the energy of the group that was there. So that was my favorite edUventure of 2017.
Oh yeah, that was definitely one of my favorites as well. So that was awesome getting to meet you face to face, getting to meet all of the awesome people, be among friends. It was just amazing. So cool, cool. So 2017 was a very good year. So what does 2018 have in store for you?
Goodness gracious, 2018. I feel like 2017 was like my year of networking and learning, and I feel like 2018 is going to be my year of like doing. Um, First thing that I really just like top of the list is finish my doctoral degree. So that's number one. Seeing you carry your phone across, almost across the stage when you graduated, that was all the motivation I needed. So I'm super stoked about that. And I may have to get my phone across the stage. Since you couldn't get it across the stage, I may have to see if I can get it on the stage.
Yeah, do it for me.
I'll give you a shout out on the stage. And then there's a lot of things that I want to do. Of course, we make, our personal kind of, eat healthy and, advancing your, spiritual and fitness journeys. Of course, those are on my list. But as far as professional stuff, I want to continue to be engaged with our Voice Academy, of course. I'm actually going to be spotlight speaking, I found out, with Southern Summit with EdTech team in February. So I'm so excited about that. I'm looking forward to keynoting at least once this year, hopefully. I want to actually put together a virtual summit for our teachers in Atlanta Public Schools and open it up to other teachers as well, but got really inspired to do that. And then toying around with possibly maybe writing a book this year. You got me really encouraged to do that, Sarah. So just a lot of ideas right now, and I've taken the time to write them all down on paper, but just really, kind of prioritizing and diving into exactly what I want to do. But a lot of stuff for our school district that I want to just kind of reignite that passion. I know we're getting ready to come up on testing time, and a lot of teachers, like, that's all they want to focus on right now is testing, but really reigniting that passion for learning about the different technology that's out there and getting them excited to get their kids excited.
Well, that is awesome. And I can't wait to see what 2018 has in store for you, everything that you've hoped for and more, I'm sure. So that is awesome. And yeah, so best wishes. So how can people get in touch with you if they want to connect with you online?
So you can get me on Twitter, of course. I'm at APS for Atlanta Public Schools, IT for Instructional Technology, Natasha. So APS IT, NATASHA. Or you can find me on my website, www.natasharachell.com. That's RACHELL.com.
Well, that is awesome. Thank you so much, Natasha, for joining us today and for sharing with us. And thank you to everyone who is going to be watching or listening as this comes out as a podcast within the next few weeks. So definitely tune in. We will be back in about 40 minutes with Fernando Chavez, who I also had the pleasure of meeting at our Voices Academy. So tune in, same bad channel, podcast with an s.edumatch.org/tweet talk. So everyone have a great night. Well, a great few minutes before we get back together. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.